Hello and a very warm welcome to a brand new edition of Verdict 2015 with me, Frank Pereira, on Rajya Sabha Television. Let's begin with today's Verdict 2015 headlines. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav addresses joint function of workers of the Third Front in Patna, lashes out at Nitish and the BJP, says NDA and Grand Alliance are only making false promises. Opposition attacks centre over RSS chief's suggestion that reservation policy must be reviewed. Centre says it is not in favour of any review of the existing system. And we'll take a look at what are the factors that are likely to influence the voters of Samastipur. It is one of the 10 districts that goes to polls on the 12th of October. Well, with the battle for Bihar heating up, the Third Front, led by the Samajwadi Party, held a rally in Patna today. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav lashed out at the state government and the BJP for making false promises. This was the first visit by any senior SP leader to the poll-bound state. Here's a report.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav was in Patna today, where he addressed a joint function of workers of the Samajwadi Party, the NCP and other parties. The alliance is being touted as the Third Front.
नेताजी का धन्यवाद दूंगा कि मैं नेताजी का भी धन्यवाद दूंगा कि उन्होंने कम से कम एक मंच पे लाने का काम किया है। सवाल ये नहीं है कि गठबंधन क्या है, महागठबंधन किसका है, लेकिन अगर पांचों उंगलियों को एक साथ जोड़ने का काम नेताजी ने किया तो बहुत बड़ा काम हुआ।
After his party exited the Nitish Lalu-led Grand Alliance over seat sharing, this was the first visit by any Samajwadi Party leader to the poll-bound state.
बहुत बड़े-बड़े सपने दिखाए गए, मैंने सुना कि बहुत बड़े सपने दिखाए गए और ऐसे सपने, ऐसे अच्छे दिनों के सपने जिसकी कोई कल्पना नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि जमाना बदला है, मार्केटिंग और ब्रांडिंग का जमाना है। कोई कंपनी तय कर देती है कि अच्छे दिन ऐसे आ सकते हैं, तो तय कर लिया उन्होंने कि अच्छे दिन ऐसे आएंगे। वो उस पार्टी का नारा नहीं था, वो ब्रांडिंग और मार्केटिंग वाली कंपनी का नारा था।
Samajwadi Party had teamed up with 5 parties to contest as Third Front in the upcoming assembly polls. The alliance worked out a seat-sharing pact last week with SP contesting on 85 seats. NCP will contest on 40 seats, whereas Papu Yadav's outfit JAM will fight 64 constituencies.
जिस उद्देश्य के लिए गठबंधन बना है, उस उद्देश्य की प्राप्ति हम कर सके। एक मजबूत तीसरा विकल्प बिहार की जनता को हम देंगे और आने वाले समय में आप इस बात को महसूस करेंगे कि जो हम लोग वादा करेंगे, जो हमारा चाहे वो घोषणा पत्र हो या विजन पेपर हो, उस पेपर को लेकर जो हम जाएंगे उसको हम लोग पूरा करेंगे। अगर बिहार की जनता ने हम पर विश्वास किया, हमको आशीर्वाद दिया, तो हम उसको पूरा करेंगे।
Among the smaller alliance partners, SSP headed by former Union Minister Nagmani has been allotted 28 seats. Former Lok Sabha MP DP Yadav's newly floated electoral outfit SJDD is allotted 23 constituencies to contest, and the remaining 3 seats are left for former Parliament Speaker P.A. Sangma's NPP. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, joining me for a chat right now is our correspondent Vishal Dahiya, live from Patna. Vishal, what was the response like to Akhilesh Yadav's rally in Patna today, and are there any takers really for the Third Front?
Well, since it was the Samajwadi Party's Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, then obviously, and the party is leading this Third Front, then obviously the party and the front would definitely manage to gather a sizable number of crowd. But then, if you look at the political importance of the Third Front and the kind of response from other political parties, that is something which is not very positive, and that's likely as well in the current scenario wherein the two fronts which are already in the fray, that's the NDA led by BJP and the Grand Alliance led by JDU, are fighting for every seat to try and gain majority in the Bihar Assembly. So obviously the criticism of the Third Front is more likely, but then if the criticism is coming from their erstwhile partners, that alliance from which the Samajwadi Party walked out at the last moment, then it definitely raises eyebrows. And today we spoke to JDU State President Vashisht Narayan Singh. He was very critical of this third front being led by Samajwadi Party. Outrightly, the Vashisht Narayan Singh outrightly rejected any relevance of the third front. Clearly said that this might be an amalgamation of some smaller parties, but these parties do not have any a vote base, any significance in the state of Bihar. So obviously at this point in time, these parties might have come together and they might not end up winning a number of seats, but then they might end up spoiling the game plan for some of the alliance partners in the Grand Alliance, because that's what the common vote bank seems to be as of now.
And as far as the third front itself is concerned, what is it that they want to achieve out of these elections? Because none of them have a significant presence there in Bihar, and they might just end up, as you said, being spoilers for maybe the Grand Alliance and also maybe in a way for the NDA alliance as well.
Well, yes, as far as gaining is concerned, it's pretty clear from day one when the Samajwadi Party walked out of the alliance, saying that they were not consulted over the allocation of seats, over the sharing of seats between the different alliance partners. It was pretty much clear that, the Samajwadi Party wanted to, have a sort of a respectable position in these elections in the Bihar poll. So at a stage when they were just getting 5 seats in the Grand Alliance to a different stage right now when they are leading the third front. So obviously, morally speaking, that might be sort of a moral booster for the party's workers in the Bihar. In the state of Bihar, but then if you look at other factor, then it's Mulayam Singh Yadav, Samajwadi Party. Then you have Pappu Yadav, whose party is also part of this alliance. Then there is another Yadav strongman. So all these Yadavas coming together might be some sort of might be a cause of some sort of concern to RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav.
All right, Vishal Dahiya, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us there with those details from Patna. Well, moving on now, of course, let's talk about this is reservation, where the centre, of course, is not in favour of any review of the existing reservation system. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said that the government is not in favour of making any change in the existing reservation policy, since it is necessary for their economic, educational and social progress. However, at a time when Bihar polls are round the corner, BJP faced strong attacks from the opposition parties who voiced their opinion against Mohan Bhagwat's statement.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी का चेहरा बेनकाब हो गया है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जो नजरिया है समाज के पिछड़े वर्गों के बारे में, अनुसूचित जाति, जनजाति, जो वंचित तबके हैं उनके बारे में जो उनका नजरिया है।
In the new India of the 21st century, shouldn't be reservation for the poor. And finally, whether SC/BCs in the constitution means socially and economically backward classes rather than socially and educationally backward castes. These are real issues which are agitating the minds of young people across the length and breadth of the country.
देश के पिछड़े वर्गों के लोग, दलित भाई और बहन, सजग हो जाओ, तुम्हारा दुश्मन तुमको ललकार रहा है और हम इनको धूल हम लोग चटाएगा और हम लंगोटा बांध के खड़े हैं। कौन माई का लाल है कि आरक्षण को खत्म कर देगा।
Well, it's time now for a short break, but still to come. A seat-sharing agreement has been ready by the NDA, but internal bickering continues. What impact will it have on the final outcome? We'll find out after this short break. Stay tuned.
Tales that inspire, stories of social change. A salute to diversity, promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries every Friday at 10:30 p.m., Saturday 12:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, the election results will be declared in November, but at least within the NDA, the BJP has already got a two-thirds majority. With a lion's share of 160 seats, it has made its allies jittery. Let's take a look at the grumblings within the alliance.
मजबूरी वाला गठबंधन है। चुनाव जीतने के लिए आंकड़ों की संख्या बनाने के लिए हुआ गठबंधन है और दूसरी ओर अच्छी केमिस्ट्री के साथ एक समान विचार के साथ और बिहार के विकास के प्रति प्रतिबद्ध एक एनडीए का गठबंधन है।
The BJP sounds confident, but the NDA allies are wary. The problem is that 160 seats for the BJP is leaving just 40 for the LJP, 23 for RLSP and 20 for the HAM.
निश्चित तौर से जिस तरीके से चीजें घटित हो रही हैं नहीं घटना चाहिए, लेकिन परिस्थितियां भी कुछ ऐसी है जिसमें खींचतान हो रहा है। इसका अच्छा ये नहीं है और इसे रोका जाना चाहिए।
No less miffed is the Lok Janshakti Party. After sulking for a few days, the party declared its first list. Its parliamentary board chairman Chirag Paswan admitted that the allies agreed on only 29 of the 40 seats.
तो जब आप गठबंधन में होते हैं कहीं ना कहीं फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी होनी बहुत ज़रूरी है। कुछ स्तर पर आपको कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ करने, एक बड़े उद्देश्य के लिए, एक बड़े लक्ष्य के लिए आपको अगर कुछ स्तर पर कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ करने पड़े वो करने पड़ते हैं।
The Hindustani Awam Morcha, led by Jitan Ram Manchi, also claimed that it was given a raw deal before grudgingly giving in.
जनता साथ देगी हम लोगों को ताकि हम लोगों की एनडीए की सरकार बनेगी। 23 माने में भाजपा के हमारे साथी और नेतृत्व ज्यादा हमसे ज्यादा सोचते हैं और उस लाइन पर जो हमारे लिए ईयर मार्क किए हैं उसको हम मानते हैं।
Initially, the BJP announced 43 candidates. 19 were for the first phase. But the problem was that almost 60% belonged to the scheduled tribes or backward castes.
ये सही है कि हम जीतने वाला गठबंधन है, इसलिए हर सीट पर दबाव बहुत है और हर पार्टी पर दबाव है कि वो सीट उनको लड़नी चाहिए, लेकिन जितना भी एडजस्ट हो सकता है भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने पूरी कोशिश की है।
The infighting within the NDA has provided some ammunition to the opposing alliance. But given that even they themselves suffer from the same problems, the NDA doesn't seem to be under threat. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, joining me for a chat right now is Nalin Verma of The Telegraph. Nalin, thank you for joining me on the program. You know, as far as the NDA is concerned, they worked out the seat-sharing formula last week itself, but there is a lot of bickering within some of the smaller allies within the alliance itself. How is that really going to impact the alliance on the whole in the long run?
See, this bickering is not a very new thing, since it is going to be a straight contest between the NDA and the JDU-led alliance. The alliance partners have got certain seats to contest. They are big parties. They are not contesting all the 243 seats. And they have claimants on all the 243 seats. They are older and bigger parties. Obviously, they are going to have bickering and rebels. But these rebels will have their impact on the elections, but not to the extent of overall impact, because this bickering is not a phenomena of a particular alliance. It is also a phenomena of the NDA and the BJP-led alliance.
So are you saying that this was expected and this has happened on expected lines and it's not going to impact the BJP as much?
What I am saying that this is not a new thing. It happens on the eve of elections and it is not associated with a particular party. It is in both the camps, and if at all it affects, it will affect both equally.
Indeed. You know, as far as the alliance itself is concerned, you know, we've seen that it's divided quite a bit, and of course you've got the caste equations as well between Ramvilas Paswan and Jitan Ram Manjhi. So they are fighting it out to be the strongmen as far as the Dalits are concerned. So, you know, we've seen a battle of one-upsmanship between these two leaders as well.
Yeah, this battle will go even beyond the results, because its roots are there. So far, Ramvilas Paswan was the single Dalit leader, and he had won 9 Lok Sabha elections. He is an old leader. Obviously, he will not like someone to emerge on his turf, which he was controlling exclusively on the turf of Bihar. Now he has seen Jitan Ram Manjhi. This battle will not end here itself. It will go, according to my calculations, it may go beyond these elections as well.
So the caste equations then, you know, would you say that it would be the single largest major factor as far as these polls are concerned?
No, I don't say it will be a single major factor, but even if Paswan and Jitan Ram Manjhi are in the same alliance, they will keep on battling for the turf, and that battle of the turf between the two Dalit leaders will keep on affecting the NDA even beyond the elections. This is what I am telling.
All right, Nalin Verma, we'll have to leave to that. Thank you so much for joining us on the program and putting things into perspective for us. Moving on now, of course, while the political campaign reaches a feverish pitch, what are the real issues plaguing the state? Nevada is one of the most backward areas in the state and is grappling with a severe health crisis. Pranav Goswami brings us this ground report on what ails Nevada.
The state of medical affairs in one of the most backward districts in Bihar, Nevada, continues to be grim. There is only one government hospital in the district for a population of 20 lakh people who are mostly daily wage laborers. The hospital walls are plastered with lists of medicines provided free of cost by the state government. However, none of these medicines from the list are available at the counter. There are other primary health centers in the district, but no doctors or attendants available. Even toilets constructed for the patients have been locked.
दवाई नहीं है, जो बात है आप क्या कहें, वही सर दे दिया तो सर ले बाजार से लीजिए।
यहाँ ये है, जितना भी प्रभारी जो भी डॉक्टर हैं, जो भी वरीय प्राधिकारी हैं, यहाँ सिर्फ साइन करना जानते हैं, मरीज को देखना नहीं जानते। सब सिस्टर पर ठेल देते हैं। सिस्टर क्या करेगी?
इस तरह लिखे हैं कि दवा का नाम भी पता चलता है, फिर पूछने गए तो दूसरी मैडम बोलते हैं कि उस मैडम का नाम लिखा हुआ है, हमें नहीं पता चल रहा है। बाहर में दुकानदार भी नहीं पढ़ पा रहे हैं दवा का नाम।
Apart from the inadequate health facilities, Nevada also faces the twin problem of lack of education and employment. All the 5 assembly seats in the district were won by the JDU-BJP combined the last time around, but this time the former allies are pitted against one another. For a district that has got the wrong end of the stick, voting this time would probably be for the one who can walk the talk.
पुराने हॉस्पिटल हैं, लेकिन हमारी सरकार ने इसको पास किया है, एक बड़ा हॉस्पिटल बन रहा है। ये 500, 200 या 300 करोड़ का ये है, बहुत बड़ा पैमाने पर जमीन अलॉट हो गई है। ये जल्द ही मतलब कि इस पर काम लगने वाला है। सभी जगह रोडें पर मिल गई, बिजली के तारे पर बिछ रही हैं, ट्रांसफार्मर मिला है, सिंचाई की योजना मिल गई है, नलकूप मिला है। तो जो भी चीजें हैं विकास का, ये 10 साल में माननीय नेता मुख्यमंत्री जी ने दिया है क्षेत्र में।
The contest this time is fierce, with the NDA and the Secular Alliance pitted against one another. It remains to be seen whether the marginalized Nevada will find its feeble voice heard amidst this election hullabaloo. With inputs from Pranav Goswami, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, let's take a look now at what else is making news in poll-bound Bihar in our segment Polpuri. Former Bihar Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi has declared that he holds movable and immovable assets worth 63 lakh rupees as per the affidavit filed by him with his nomination papers. Manjhi, whose father was a landless labourer in Makhar village in Gaya district, used to own 5 acres of cultivable land worth 37 lakh rupees a few years ago. The The most influential Muslim religious body in Bihar, Imarat Sharia, has asked the Grand Alliance of the JDU-RJD Congress to provide representation to Muslims in proportion to their population while distributing tickets so that the voter turnout in the alliance favors is not adversely affected. Meanwhile, expelled RJD leader Pappu Yadav has said that Bihar will have a Muslim chief minister if the Third Front wins the assembly elections. The Election Commission has warned the candidates and political leaders against making statements during campaigning which are repugnant to the dignity of women. The poll watchdog has asked political parties to maintain high standards during the election campaign and that use of intemperate, abusive language may invite action. The police has seized 1.1 crore rupees and arrested 5 people from a vehicle at Damodarpur village in East Champaran district. The seizure came in addition to a rich haul of unaccounted Indian and foreign currencies in other parts of the poll-bound state. Officials said that the SUV was stopped for checking on Monday evening on NH28 in between Motihari and Muzaffarpur. Moving on now, Samastipur is one of the 10 districts in which elections will be held in the first phase on the 12th of October. Our correspondent Vishal Dahiya took stock of the issues and political situation in this district, which is synonymous with the name of Samajwadi stalwart Karpuri Thakur. Let's take a look.
Samastipur district in northern Bihar is considered to be part of Mithilanchal area of the state. Situated around 80 kilometers from the capital city Patna, Samastipur has 10 assembly segments. Splinter groups of the erstwhile Janta Dal have held sway in this district for almost 3 decades, during which they also remained in the seat of power in the state. However, the pace of development here has been slow, with not much done for education, health and cleanliness.
इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, मेडिकल कॉलेज तो सबसे ज्यादा बिहार में जरूरत है. जो दिल्ली, बम्बई जाते हैं वहाँ पे डोनेशन दे के बच्चे रहते हैं. उससे बेहतर होता है जो यहाँ पे ये अच्छे बच्चे यहीं पे रहते हैं.
यहाँ पे तो फैक्ट्री उक्ट्री भी नहीं है, एक सुई तक की फैक्ट्री नहीं है. यहाँ बहुत दिक्कत है बेरोजगार लोगों के लिए.
दिक्कत है यहाँ जो सो बहुत अति अफसरशाही है और यहाँ जो है सब व्यवस्था का बहुत कमी है, क्योंकि गंदगी के बहुत अति है. उस सब की व्यवस्था बाजार में है नहीं.
बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. आप देख रहे हैं स्टेशन रोड पे ही देख लीजिए, रामबाबू चौक पे देख लीजिए कितना भीड़ भाड़ रहता है. लगभग 10 बजे से लेकर के जाम ही लगा रहता है. बाइक वाले को परेशानी, पैदल वाले को परेशानी.
A quick round of the city and you can see roads covered with garbage and bus stands in shambles. This building was the only sugar mill in the district. It has been more than 2 decades since it closed, and now a portion of the building is being used by the district administration to store election material.
सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा शहर का एक चीनी मिल शहर में है, तो तकरीबन 3 दशक से यहाँ बंद है और यहाँ स्थानीय स्तर पर लोगों ने इस मुद्दे को उठाया भी, लेकिन यहाँ पर किसी ने उस तरफ पहल नहीं की.
हम लोगों का यहाँ खेती होता था ईख का, जो कि बहुत दिक्कत का सामना करना पड़ रहा है.
और हम लोग जब से देख रहे हैं ऐसा ही बंद पड़ा हुआ. इधर अब गन्ना का खेती होता ही नहीं, हम लोग नहीं देखते.
The district boasts of a battery of senior leaders including Vijay Chaudhary, who is JDU Legislative Party leader in the outgoing assembly, and Ramchandra Paswan of the LJP, who represents the district in the Lok Sabha.
When it comes to politics, Samastipur is known as the turf of Samajwadi stalwart Karpuri Thakur, a 2-time chief minister who was born and brought up and represented the district throughout his 46-year-long political career. However, after having reaped the benefits of his legacy for years, but with not much to show in terms of developmental works, his proteges are now finding it difficult to defend this bastion.
In the 2010 assembly polls, the JDU won 6 seats and the BJP 2 out of the total 10 seats in the district. But the JDU suffered a major setback 4 years later in the Lok Sabha elections after a split with the BJP.
2014 के लोकसभा चुनाव में जेडीयू, आरजेडी और भाजपा सभी अलग थे. उस समय जेडीयू के पास भाजपा के वोट बैंक का समर्थन नहीं था और जिसका नुकसान जेडीयू को भुगतना पड़ा. उससे ज़्यादा अच्छे पोजीशन पे आरजेडी और उसके जो कैंडिडेट या अलायंस थे, उसके लोकसभा में कांग्रेस के साथ इनका अलायंस था, तो समस्तीपुर में भी कांग्रेस सेकंड पोजीशन पे रही.
Having forged an alliance with the RJD and the Congress, the JDU is hoping to revive its electoral fortunes in this district in these elections. With camera person Prashanta Karmakar, Vishal Dahiya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's it on this edition of Verdict 2015. See you again next time. Keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.